Minister of Tourism, Minister Hanekom, you did tell us this morning that we should call you Minister as much as we can because we don't know what's going to happen after the 8th of May. So, Minister, welcome. I will try my level best to call you Minister as much as I can. We are very thankful that you could be here. The DG of Tourism, DG Victor Tarage, the CEOs of tourism boards, the chairperson of South African Tourism Board, you're welcome. I see there are colleagues from TBCSA, board members, you are welcome. I see CEOs of various associations, chairmen of various associations. I'm not going to mention names. I can see all of you, and you are welcome to this function. Like I said, my name is Chifiwa. I'm here to do the program directing. You can see what the program is going to look like. It's going to be, very efficient, like what technology is. And I think talking about technology, especially in the travel and tourism sector, I always mention that, in the past, when some of us were studying tourism or travel and tourism, everything was done in a paper. I remember going through books and books and books, trying to figure out how to create a price for a ticket. And then after 3 years of studying and going through many books, and then we were taken to this course. And then when we went to course, it was a 2-week course. And all the work that we did for the past 3 years were done in 2 weeks because of the technology. So technology is an amazing thing. The world of travel and tourism moves with technology. We have advanced, leaps and bounds, and we have technology that we never thought we would have. And I think today marks one of those days that we'll be talking about the advancement of technology and what is it that is going to do to the industry here in South Africa. And without wasting any time, I would call upon the chairperson of the NTVIS Advisory Committee, Mr. Sandile Ntsewane, to welcome, to the floor and give us, his remarks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sandile Ntsewane, as introduced by Chifiwa. I am the chairperson of the advisory committee. Indeed, things have kind of changed, but I'll touch on that in a short while. I'd like to just acknowledge the presence of the tourism minister. I referred to him as Dr. Hanekom this morning, and he returned the favor and he called me Dr. Sandile. And welcome, Minister. We'll try and double up the word minister as you requested this morning, for the next 6 days to make sure that. All right, I'd also like to welcome the tourism associations CEOs. Chifiwa has already mentioned a few. I'm not going to mention any names. Also acknowledge the NTVIS CEO, Dr. Mvusi. But we call him Mvusi. So Songela, Dr. Songela, who's the NTVIS CEO. Acknowledge all our industry colleagues and the media. As the chairperson of the NTVIS Advisory Committee, I am delighted to be here today to welcome our tourism industry colleagues and media. At the Indaba last year, you may recall that the MTVIS initiative between global technology provider Amadeus and South Africa's tourism industry was announced. The initiative created an innovative new model for public-private collaboration in the tourism industry in South Africa. Its goal was to further the transformational growth of tourism in South Africa through skills development, creating career opportunities and building a centralized data hub from which the entire tourism sector could benefit. Today, the NTVIS is well on its way to making the difference to South Africa's tourism sector that it set out to do. I assume that we have these acronyms that we mention all the time, and just assume that people know what it is we're talking about when we keep on saying NTVIS. I'm assuming that everyone is aware that we're talking the National Tourism Visitor Information System. So it enjoys the support of leading private and public sector stakeholders within South African travel and tourism sector. Together we aspire to enhance and empower our tourism industry through the industry-informed initiatives you will hear about from my colleagues pretty soon. As the chairperson of the NTVIS Advisory Committee and a representative of the South Africa's private sector supporting the initiative, it gives me great pleasure to support the groundbreaking initiative that our new journey is embarking on. These are a critical part of achieving the NTVIS vision shared between public and private sector. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we really do look forward to the unveiling. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandile, Dr. Sandile. So NTVIS means National Tourism Visitor Information System, and this is something that was born out of the initiative led by Amadeus Group. I'm not going to go into detail because the guys are going to explain further in terms of what is it about, what are we trying to do, how is it going to benefit the industry, and how can you take advantage of it from the industry point of view. When I was making the introductions, after I finished, I sat down and I realized, the face that I know. Dr. Makube is here from the DTI. He's the Chief Director responsible for the National Industrial Participation Program, of which the NTVIS, is born out of. So Dr. Makube, welcome to Indaba. And I'm sure it's probably your first Indaba, but welcome. All right, to discuss the roadmap of the National Tourism Visitor Information, Dr. Nomvuselelo Songelo, who's the Chief Executive of the NTVIS, will then take us through the roadmap.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I must just introduce myself correctly. Between the chairperson of my advisory committee and what is written on the board, I could actually ask the chairperson of SAT to actually tell them who Mvusi is. My name is Nomvuselelo Songelwa, taking a tune from the MC. I speak isiXhosa, but I'm a hybrid between the Swazis and the Xhosa people. Tourism Minister Derek Hanekom, Tourism Authority CEOs, DG, with all the staff from NDT, Tourism Association CEOs, the African partners and dignitaries that are present here, the global and industry colleagues, media, all protocol observed. Thank you all for attending this event. Myself and the NTVIS colleagues are very excited today that you are here to witness the unveiling of this groundbreaking initiative. A lot of people have been asking, what is this initiative all about? This initiative is about building a centralized travel and tourism data hub that will provide credible and reliable information that can be distilled to regional and local level. Our main focus is to bring the diverse and disparate sources of the entire tourism industry data together by building an unbiased, comprehensive, consolidated data hub for the benefit of the entire industry. We will be leveraging our established partnership with private and public sector through their existing structures and associations to garner ongoing feedback from the industry on its requirements to in turn guide our own activities. Our partnership and consultation, though, with the industry has informed us that whilst we acknowledge the existing platforms and sources of tourism data, there are also critical tourism data gaps that need to be filled. To this effect, we will create 2 digital platforms. The first one will be the online SMME booking tool, and the second one will be the visitor app and the information portal that will feed into the data hub. So the online SMME booking tool will allow SMMEs in peri-urban, rural, and the township areas to promote their experiences or properties to the mainstream tourism platforms, to the same way established providers promote their offerings. A visitor app and information portal, on the other hand, will improve and enhance the visitor experience. This will complement the existing solutions that are accessible throughout multiple channels. So the development of this app will follow the journey of the traveler from aspiration, planning, booking, on-trip experiences, and the post-trip sharing phases. The app will feed the tourism data hub with real-time tourist intelligence throughout the journey, whilst promoting tourism to domestic and international travelers. I'm immensely proud to announce that since our offices were open in January this year, we managed to appoint a competent senior team who will drive these deliverables. And ladies and gentlemen, to my left, that is the cohort of the competent colleagues that will be driving this process. And yes, we will be all accountable to the industry. We also have now completed the planning phase, and we are now at a developmental phase. We've initiated the procurement of the BBBE service providers for the data hub and the SMME booking tool. So what we are actually committing is the fact that as from now, we are in the process of the development of the data hub and the SMME booking tool. And as we do that, we are going to be rolling out the stakeholder engagement together with the partners as part of our development phase. We are also going to be initiating the procurement process of the visitor app and the information portal. We do commit, it is our intention that by December this year, we would have launched all the digital platforms as mechanisms through which to collect the meaningful tourism data. The Data Hub platform will consolidate data from the multiple sources to create an innovative, first-of-a-kind tourism data hub for South Africa. Minister, I would be erring if I don't address you to add on to the fact that you have to be called Minister many a times. Minister, in conclusion, South Africa's tourism industry will have the peace of mind that their contribution to this tourism data hub not only benefits the entire tourism sector, but that it is held in the trust confidentially by the National Department of Tourism. We are a groundbreaking data management company driven to provide intelligence by connecting people to spaces in the travel and tourism sector. If you like, we are the back end of the sector, and an enabler of the industry. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. There's only one doctor sitting here. We're all just, well, there's a doctor and the minister. You know, I was tempted when I was sitting down that maybe we should break the record and we can all say minister at the same time. We're probably going to break the record. I was tempted. I didn't say we were going to do it, but I was tempted. Thank you very much for you know, your words in terms of what is it that's going to be done, the roadmap, and what the intention of National Visitor Information System intends to do, you know, going forward. It was quite comforting to hear that by December, you know, all these systems that you know, the CEO was talking about, they will be launched. So it's upon us as the industry to make sure that we contribute as much as we can, you know, to this system so that they can be enriched and they can be able to produce the data or the results, you know, that we want to see and that we can implement going forward. Now, all this, you know, is made possible by Amadeus IT Group, or Amadeus Southern Africa, which is the backbone of a technology that South African Airways uses when we book these tickets that we booked when we came here, those of us who flew SAA. So without further ado, I'll ask Andy, who is the General or the Managing Director of Amadeus Southern Africa, to give us some few words. Andy.
Hi, thank you very much. And I'd like to say welcome to the Minister, and to thank him actually for the support we've received from him and his department, as well as from DTI, in particular over the last 3 years. This project actually we started thinking about it 3 years ago. I'm feeling here a bit like a parent. I've been so involved with the conception, the birth, and now the child is starting to run on its own. And I think we're going to get some amazing results as this thing gets its legs and develops its own life. It's worth saying that Amadeus is a global company, an IT technology company, and we know that there is nothing like this project anywhere else yet in the world. This isn't just a first in Africa, it's a global first. The partnerships that, when we started looking at this whole project, and we spoke to the tourism department, and I would say Shamila there is practically the mother for the project. Thank you very much for your support in the early days, as well as Victor. And this thing, like I say, the first year was a lot of internal discussion, etc. And then 2 years ago, we reached out to all the industry stakeholders, the associations and the representatives of all the various areas of tourism. And the response was amazing. It really has become a collaboration, a partnership between the public sector and the private sector. And I'm so proud to be here now that the NTVIS company has been formed, that Mvusi and the team have a great deal of faith in them. They really seem like the team that are going to deliver on this to everybody. Data itself, what business can function without data at the moment? And data is often held in silos. This company has some, that government department has some, and there isn't a broad overall view and usage of it bouncing off each other to produce something really special. And that's what this project is about, to bring it all together and to really make it work. I see many countries, I cover a number of countries, there are many countries watching this because they're all in the same situation that South Africa was in, and they're all wanting to know how to move forward. And this project, the NTVIS, is, like I said, a global first, and is not just being watched locally, but internationally and across the globe as well. So I really believe we have the right team. I have to say many thanks over the last 3 years for all the support from the tourism department, from the DTI, from all the associations. Amadeus was just a facilitator in this. Yes, we're doing a lot of the seed funding of this project, but this is about the industry coming together, not about any one company. And that really is the core of my message, and we're very proud to be a part of this going forward. Although, like I say, as a parent, stepping further and further into the background, as it gets its own legs and rolls its own wheels. I think that's about it from me, but congratulations to the team, and all the best with this, and I really expect great things to come from it. We should by next year be seeing some real strides forward. Thank you guys.
No, thank you, Andy. With a company like Amadeus as the backbone, I'm sure Amadeus has a huge market share and also huge data that could really help us to navigate, what's going on with, within the markets. When you look at arrivals, when you talk about forward bookings, when you talk about the behavior of tourists, and when you talk about SMME booking tools and things like that, with a company like Amadeus as the backbone, behind this project, you can only have some great results that's gonna really assist the industry. At this point in time, I will call upon Minister Hanekom to give his remarks. Minister Hanekom.
Thank you, Program Director. The Program Director we call Chief. My name is Derek, in case you didn't know. So I have a job, and the job is Minister of Tourism, and then, it results in some people calling me Minister. Chief's little joke is I say, well, I've only got a few weeks left, and I want to hear Minister as often as possible because I may never hear it again. But I also need to get very used to being called Derek, so Derek is my name. Thank you very much for just being here with you, for launching this very exciting project, very exciting initiative. I think a couple of challenges, and I'm sharing thoughts with you on a matter that I don't even understand that well, and that you understand a lot better than I do, I'm quite sure. Nonetheless, a couple of things. One is, what we're launching today needs to be better understood and appreciated. So that we say, well, what exactly are we launching? What is this partnership with Amadeus bringing? And what value is it going to bring for tourism and for our economy? So we need a crisp understanding of what this thing is. So that, yeah, my congratulations to the team as well on the collaborative effort. I think that's very important. Then you say a world first, a global first. That's great. We'd like to be first in the world. But what we want even more than that, our team, is global best, not just global first. And we want the best will be tested not in, gee, we're collecting data very well, we're curating it, and we're making it accessible, but we're using it as a tool for decision making, and the results are there, visible. And one of the serious factors in contributing towards better results is this work done in partnership with Amadeus. I think that's very important. As I understand it, there are 4 components to it. One is the tourism information system, one of it is the data hub, one of it is the booking hub, if you like, for SMEs and rural enterprises, and one of it is a training component. Well, let's look at the training component for a start. You know, skills development and training is very, very, very important for us to be able to provide the best of the best. And at the end of the day, this is about enhancing tourism experiences, good decision making, increasing and growing tourism in South Africa, and extending its benefits to as many people as possible. So, an example, training. We want all of the things that we need decisions on to be guided by good information, reliable information. So even in the training, to have a good sense of where the critical training needs are we providing the training that is needed by the industry? Is that training relevant? Is it effective? What absorption rate in the industry? What difference is the training making? Are we providing the training in the right places? Know that this is your granular data, if you like. Asking the probing questions and getting information on probing questions, so that when we spend limited resources, that we spend them in a directed way, and that we know that these are the areas of critical need, and we can measure the results. And I think that's very important. So, may I say, in a country that very few among you will probably even know, that we have completed the first phase of a radio astronomy project called the Square Kilometre Array. In case you haven't heard about it, on completion, this will be by far the most powerful radio telescope in the world. The first phase has been completed. It's at the moment, on completion, it'll use 100 times more data than the entire internet does. So, you know, we are capable of doing huge projects in South Africa. This project, which might be relatively small, we can do it well. We have the capabilities, but your initiative has prompted us and prodded us to move in the right direction. The value of data, firstly, we need the data in all of its forms, to collect data from a variety of sources, reliable data. Firstly, to present the case for tourism. I said we have limited resources. The moment we can say, but reliably and confidently, that this is how tourism is impacting on the economy, this is its contribution to GDP, this is how many jobs it translates into. We present the case for tourism, better understood. These are the people benefiting. This is how many young people enter the tourism industry, and so forth. So it presents the case. Secondly, as I've said already, it will help us make the right decisions, steer us towards the right decisions. Why do tourists come to South Africa? Why would tourists want to come to South Africa? When they come to South Africa, what do they do? What do they enjoy most of their time spent in South Africa? What do they think could be better? And at the end of the day, your data its value lies in it being an effective tool for decision making. Whether it's for the small business, whether it's through your booking app, or whether it's for the information that we need for marketing, whether it's the information we need for improving experience. With our limited resources, where do we apply them? Where does the tourist who visits South Africa, where does he or she go? Which roads do they travel on? Which kinds of places do they stay at? What do they enjoy most? What are they looking for? Unless we have this information, we won't be able to design and improve the visitor experience adequately. We won't be able to market because we might be hitting the wrong chords because we're not guided by reliable and useful information. So all of that in a nutshell We need this kind of technology, we need this kind of innovation to make us the best of the best, to make our decisions really well, evidence-based decisions based on a variety of data well collected, well curated, made accessible and analyzed properly. In our national tourism sector strategy, we talk about the need to improve our capability to analyze data as a decision-making tool. So I think it's the whole package. Mere collecting of the data is not sufficient. But I think I'm telling you, I did what you already know. I think at the end of the day, Amadeus, we thank you for, I remember some years ago when you came to my office and you said, look, we can do this with tourism. It was unusual because normally it would be part of an industrial program. We went through a few years of negotiating and ensuring that DTI, the Department of Trade and Industry in our country, would allow for this deviation, if you like. Now, our challenge, dear friends, is to make this deviation and this first in the world, as you describe it, to make it something that we can really say with confidence, it is making and it has made a real difference to the growth of the tourism sector, to the ability of small businesses to benefit from the growth in tourism, and at the end of the day, we've got to showcase this and present it and shout about it as a success story. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Minister, very much. And I think that really gives us an idea of what we're embarking on. I think it's a very important project. It's needed for the industry. And it is something that, we believe that is going to enhance the industry. And now I'm putting my other hat on. I believe that is something that we need as an industry. It's something that's going to enhance, especially for SMMEs. We all know that there are many SMMEs that are not visible anywhere. They're not visible online. They're not bookable. You cannot find them, and if you're a travel agent or travel management company, you have to really get offline and pick up a phone to call, be it a B&B or be it a shuttle company. You have to go offline and call them, input onto the system. It interrupts the whole invoicing system. So, something like that will really help, to make that space more efficient, to make sure that there's the flow of the information, from when a travel agent starts to book to the end, it's very seamless and can produce the invoices that we need. So for us, from the industry point of view, we think that is groundbreaking. I have experienced this when I worked as a travel management manager, that it's really difficult. You're sending people to the border, but because the B&B at the border is not available on the system, they have to drive all the way far to sleep in something that's available in the system, whereas there's something closer or nearby. So I would think that this is groundbreaking. And speaking of data, right? Make decision, business decision. You need reliable information to be able to make those decisions. Knowing how many people arrived last month, instead of knowing it after so many months, it makes difference in terms of making decisions, in the travel and tourism space. So we believe that is critical. And in fact, in South Africa, a lot of information that we have doesn't even come from here. We tend to take information, especially hotel information, we give it to the likes of STR Global. Why can't we have our own here, where we can analyze our own data and understand what's going on in our own space? And we do believe that this is groundbreaking, this is going to help, and it's going to assist in decision making. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new brand. so for many years, we called, this company NTVIS. And, I remember when it was, started, it had another name. And I think now that, Jurni has been, put out there as the company name, which will administer the National Tourism Visitor Information System. I think it's beautiful. It says it all. Tourism is about a journey. As the CEO has said, from aspiration to returning back home. So this takes us into that journey of a traveler and the experiences of the traveler. Now, I was told that we're going to try this in a different technology. Since this is a technology presentation, and I'm just going to move off the stage and I'm going to let technology do its thing.
Yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. When you fold it up, oh, if you fold it up, cause this is Africa. This time for Africa. Listen to your God, this is our motto. Your time to shine, don't wait in line, y vamos por todo.
is, a hologram. Someone like me who come from the village, we never thought we would see these things. So it's just like when you talk about cell phone, SMSs, who knew? Now we don't even talk about SMSs. Now I'm dating myself. WhatsApps and all this other stuff. So who knows what's going to be next? But I think we need to be prepared for technology. We need to embrace technology. And with those few words, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming through. Thank you for the dancers that came here and graced the stage. I am told that some of them are graduates, coming from the training program that are going to be going, off to the US to do their practical, experiences or work, and we hope that when they come back, they'll be able to contribute to the industry and enhance the industry. And thank you very much for all coming. Thank you, Minister, for gracing the occasion. Thank you, DG, all the dignitaries that came here. And, the media that has questions, I'm sure the CEO of Jurni, will be able to take those questions and clarify wherever, everyone needs clarity. And thank you very much for coming through.
Necklaces full of groove.